Tonight on Mental Health Matters with Marty, April is Sexual Assault Awareness. Tonight we're going to be talking about sexual assault among men. Stay tuned. What's up, everybody? Hey, good evening, and welcome to another live show of Mental Health Matters with Marty, and I am your host and your mental health hygienist, coming to you, as I always say, live and in living color from Southern California, where the sun is always shining. Listen, we want to talk to you tonight about a very important topic. April is Mental Health and Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and this is an important topic. So before we even get started, I want you all to listen, share this link with everyone that you know, because we're going to be talking about this very important topic. And specifically, we want to talk about sexual assault among men. Yes, you heard me say it. Men do get sexually assaulted, and too often it goes unreported. And we need to have this conversation. As I always say, we don't want you to continue to secretly suffer in silence in the shadow of shame, but we want you to speak up, speak out, and live. As I always say each week, this show is intended for educational purposes and educational purposes only. We are not a replacement to therapy, but we are a supplement to therapy. We are not a replacement from you seeing your doctor, but a supplement to that, because we want to empower you and equip you with the tools that are necessary for your success. So if you're experiencing any type of psychiatric emergency, we definitely want you to call 911 or go to your nearest hospital. Again, this is such a dynamic topic. Let us know that you're listening. Let us know where you're listening from. I hope that you have had a great day, but we have a serious topic. I love having those wonderful upbeat topics to talk about, but we need to get into some heaviness and really have an open conversation and open dialogue. Too many of us in our communities are pushing things underneath the rug and not having these conversations that can literally save lives. And that's what we're all about, saving lives. So listen, put some people in the chat section, invite some people in the room. Let me know you are listening. While I'm doing that, I have some statistics that I want to share with you when it comes to sexual assault. So bear with me as I look at some of my notes here. Every 73 seconds, let me say that again, every 73 seconds, someone in America is sexually assaulted. Let me say that one more time. Every 73 seconds, that's 1 minute and 13 seconds. Every time 1 minute and 13 seconds happens, someone in America is sexually assaulted. And I'm going to say this because of the pandemic. I do believe the numbers have increased, but the reporting has gone down. We talked about child abuse last week, and we talked about that child abuse has increased. Although the reporting has increased, hospitalization of our children has increased. That's a problem. And so every 73 seconds, someone in America is sexually abused. Now, this happens more among women than it does for men. But let's look at these statistics here. In age demographics, when we're talking about sexual assault of women, in that regards, let me redo that. The majority of sexual assault victims, this includes men and women, my problem correcting that, between the ages of 12 and 17. This is heartbreaking. Between the ages of 12 and 17, 15% of all sexual assault cases are between the ages of 12, that's heartbreaking, and 17. Yes, Pam, it is extremely sad. The majority of sexual assault victims are between the ages of 18 and 34. Again, the majority of sexual assault victims are between the ages of 18 and 34, comprising of 54% of all sexual abuse cases. That's an alarming figure. So if we put those two numbers together, 69, almost 70% of assault cases are under the age of 30. That is unbelievable. So we need to be paying a lot more attention. Parents, we need to pay attention. Young adults in your 20s, pay attention. Then if we look at the numbers between the ages of 35 and 64, that comprises of 28% of sexual assault victims. And then if we look at 65 and older, yes, you heard me, 65 and older, that attests to 3% of sexual assault victims. There is a problem that we are having, and no one is talking about it. If we look at women, 1 in every 6 women, 1 in every 6. So in other words, in a room of 6 women, 1 of them is more than likely to experience or have experienced some sort of sexual assault. That is alarming. That is absolutely alarming with that. I want to, and sorry, I'm looking at these pages. Here's the one that caught me by surprise that I was not expecting. Men, young men who attend college between the ages of 18 and 24 are 5 times more likely to be sexually assaulted than their male counterparts who are uneducated. That blew my mind. What are you saying, Marty? The likelihood of our young men going to college being sexually assaulted has increased by 5 times. So we need to be having a lot of sexual assault awareness and prevention and preventative measures that's happening all across our college campuses, from junior colleges to state-funded colleges and universities. It needs to be not just a topic that we talk about, but also lots of peer support groups that happens throughout and on every levels of our college campuses across America. Why? Because if you are a man, you are 5 times more likely to have experienced some sort of sexual assault when you attend a college. That's alarming. That is absolutely staggering. And how do we even cope with that? So the statistics go on and on and on. The other one that I want to look at that just was staggering to me. It is estimated that of the inmates, over 80,000 inmates each year will have experienced some sort of sexual abuse and violence that happens in our prisons. And then let's not even talk about, I had a statistic also. Here's the one for the military. And military often goes unreported as well. Over 6,000 military members have reported experiencing sexual assault during their military service as of the year 2018. Over 6,000, and they're talking about that over 20,000 sexual assaults that happen in the military every year. People, we have to talk about this. We have to not make this an issue about being ashamed, of being afraid, because too many of these incidences are going unreported and underreported, especially when we talk about men. Why? Because men are supposed to be sowing their royal wild oats. That we heard it in Coming to America 1. We heard it in Coming to America 2. We talk about go sow your royal oats and go out there. But we are not preparing people for what the aftermath, and we're not preparing them for the damage, the PTSD, the post-traumatic stress, the depression, the anxiety, all of these things that happen because we are encouraging and telling them that you should be doing this. That's right. Thank you, Alana. Another amazing therapist. It goes underreported and not reported. So men are forced to rape, and we're encouraging them to rape our young women. Not even just our young women. Let's talk about rape among the LGBTQ community. We won't even transgender community. All of those things that go. I don't care who you are. Everyone is susceptible, especially if you're under the age of 30. The likelihood under the age of 30 makes up almost 70% of our sexual assault cases in America. That is disheartening. And we have a problem, and we need to talk about it. So I'm so glad tonight that we have with us he's been on our show before. I'm so glad to have him back. Again, y'all, please invite people in this room. You don't want to miss this conversation. You don't want to miss what we're about to talk about tonight. And I'm so glad to have him as a friend. And I love this, Jason. Jason T. Mahoney, the motivator. We tell our young ladies to be queens and our men's to be kings and men, and get yours. That's the set us up for these statistics. You're absolutely right. That is the setup for that. We have so much to talk about. That's why we are getting away with it, because nobody is reporting it because they are ashamed. Pam, you are absolutely right. You don't have to be. Greg, you're absolutely right. This is alarming. Just shared. Shayla, thank you so much. This is alarming. People, listen, I'm going to give you about 5 seconds, 10 seconds to add people in this thread. Type some names in the thread. We want to invite people in this conversation because it is too important for us not to be sharing this. And please share this on your Facebook and on whatever mode that you are watching this from tonight, because this is a discussion we have to have. And again, we can prevent sexual assault and sexual abuse. How do we prevent it? By having these conversations. So tonight, I am so honored to have my brother come back on. He was with us when we did the men and did with Jason T. Mahoney. We were talking about these men who came on and sharing their stories. And I am so glad to have with us again tonight, all the way from North Carolina. We love him. He's a friend of the Mental Health Matters with Marty show, and definitely my brother as well. None other than Marcel Anderson. Marcel.
Awesome. Thank you.
Man, how are you?
Hey. I'm doing wonderful. I hope you are.
Man, I'm doing great. Marcel, when you hear those statistics that I was just sharing, first introduce yourself, and then let's talk through some of these statistics themselves. Marcel, talk to us again for those who might be joining us for the first time. Who are you, man, and your great story that we're about to share?
Yes, absolutely. First, I want to say thank you for having me on the show. Again, this is such a privilege and an honor to be able to share light into a social issue that is oftentimes not talked about consistently.
Yes.
My name is Marcel Anderson, originally from Spartanburg, South Carolina, currently reside in Raleigh, North Carolina. Went to school there in St. Augustine's University, majored in psychology, then went on to get my master's degree in human behavior.
Yes.
By profession, I run a mentoring program. I have 3 albums out as an artist, and also have 2 books out as well. And ultimately, I'm an advocate for sexual violence against men in particular. And again, I just want to continue to motivate, inspire, and encourage men to continue to move past their challenges.
Wonderful. Well, Marcel, you are definitely an advocate, and your book has just, hearing your story and your testimony has been just life-changing for me. And hearing those statistics, how did that resonate with you? And just what this whole thing of sexual assault, especially among men. The one that blew my mind was the college male students. That was alarming to me.
Yeah, kind of similar to what we kind of talked about earlier, just hearing those statistics. The statistics are real, people. Those are real statistics. These things do happen to men, but oftentimes I think about the reports or the situations that are not reported, those conversations that are left out, and how much of our men are left out of the conversation or enough
Yes.
out of the equation and walking
Yes.
alone and walking by themselves. So I think
Yes.
about those statistics and think about what are we doing to prevent
Yes.
those things from happening? What awareness are we bringing? Not only during April, which is Sexual Assault Awareness and Child Abuse Awareness Month,
Right.
but what are we doing in the other 11 months, right?
Thank
How
you.
can we stay consistent and create programs, support groups, and begin to educate ourselves and our communities and the schools to continue to work through these things that will happen, but how can we
Yes.
lessen and decrease them
That's
happening
right.
to our men? So again, I think it's definitely alarming, but I think it's important that we continue to bring awareness through April, but also beyond April, how we, taking preventative measures to end it and to stop it. Oftentimes, people are always
Mm-hmm.
asking, can we truly end sexual violence against men, Marcel? I said,
Yes.
yes, we can.
Exactly.
If we think about it first, then we can believe it. And I think we can start executing in the plan, executing in the conversation. And if we just
Mm-hmm.
change our mindset, we can change the results, right,
That's right.
of the situation. Yeah.
Yeah, man, you're absolutely right. If we can change the mindset, we have these conversations, we can, and too often, I'm not just talking about our Black community, too often we don't like having healthy conversation as it pertains to sex, what roles are in sex. We often push our men saying, hey, go out and do what you want to, that's just, he's just being a man. And then if we talk about our young ladies, then we don't want them to do it. We're sending mixed messages, and we're sending wrong messages that aren't clear. And then I think it forces sometimes young men to do things that they're not even comfortable with, but it's the expectation that's supposed to happen, whether it's from their fathers, their brothers, uncles, whatever, from society. What do you feel about that as well?
Yeah, I think you hit something very key in terms of how we're shaped in the entry level of our development.
Yes.
Oftentimes, when you see a female, a young female by the ages of 1 to 5, when they fall, what's the first thing that they do when they fall? They
Oh,
talk to
it's
comfort
okay.
her and tell her she's going to be okay. And then if a young man falls, they tell him to get up. You're strong. This is who you are. So in the first 5 stages of development, those things are concrete in their minds. So they grow into that space, depending on their upbringing, depending on their family upbringing. But I think holistically, we do find that even in psychology,
Right.
what that looks like in introducing yourself into the first 5 stages of your life. Those are things that you learn. Those are things you grow to understand. So I think we have
Right.
to continue to really change the norm and how we create the social norm towards developing our young people and let them know that, hey, men, it's okay to cry. If you fall, you can cry. You're not a punk.
Right.
You're not less of a man if you cry.
Right.
You're just as equal as anyone else if you show these emotions. So how do we show these
Yes.
emotions when something does bad happen to us? So in the case of sexual assault, if something happens to them, they feel like they can't show their emotion. They can't tell
Thank
anyone
you.
because
Thank
they
you.
feel like they're strong. Their masculinity, this thing about
Yes.
being this man that can't show his weakness. Now you're not less
Or
of a
even
man
be
if you cry,
vulnerable.
right? And being vulnerable and open
Being
up yourself
vulnerable.
and showcasing this side of you. So again, I think it's important that we continue to change the narrative, change how we formulate how society socially construct the norm
That's
of how
right.
men should be. Yeah.
That's right. You're absolutely right. And the alarming thing, 2020 has been a difficult year for Black men, period. When we're seeing all the things that are happening. But with that too, I'm grateful that more Black men are seeking therapy. And I've had more referrals from Black men in the past 6-8 months than I have in 4 years, which is alarming in that regard. But I was a little surprised, but not shocked, but not surprised. How about that's what I'm gonna say? Shocked, but not surprised of how many of those Black men that I've had as patients, at least 60% of them, hear me when I say this, at least 60% of them have experienced some sort of molestation, sexual abuse, and they could not share it. And I have these, I'm going to even say stereotypical strong Black men that now are on Zoom. We're not even face to face, Marcel. We're on Zoom breaking down crying because they carried that hidden message and they have not released it because they didn't want to see as being weaker, or they couldn't share that with their wives, their spouses, or anyone else in their families, and it's too much of a burden for them to handle. That's alarming to me. Absolutely. With that. So, Marcel, please, if you don't mind, kind of share, because you have this amazing book, and we're going to show this later, can you throw up the book there for me, please, Daryl? Yes. A Victimized Man's Journey, Still Living. I'm Purposed to Live. Listen, that, and then you have a CD with that as well, correct?
Yes, I do. Yep.
Yes. So we definitely want everyone to go out on Amazon after the show. Go on Amazon and pick up that book. But man, it is life-changing. Can you please share, for those who are joining us for the first time, listen, people, please put some people's name in the chat section and write down there, because you need to hear. Invite your brothers, invite your fathers, invite your uncles, invite your godsons, invite your sons, invite your male cousins and uncles and invite every man that you know to get in on this link and hear this amazing journey from victim to victory that's going to happen. Marcel, share with us part of your story.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is one of the reasons why I'm an advocate, because I am also a male sexual assault survivor. In a very brief overview, I'll share it. You can go and purchase my book and get more of my story. But in brief, almost 9 years ago, I was caught off guard in a home invasion. I was held gunpoint, blindfolded, handcuffed for about 2+ hours. Some may be listening to my story and heard it before, but for those who are listening for the first time, I was caught off guard, handcuffed, blindfolded. Put in a situation that I think I couldn't get out of. The Robert told me if I do everything he told me to do, I may live. So psychologically, I'm sitting there thinking that if I do everything he told me to do, I can get out of here. But when I thought things could not get any worse, he pushed me in the back room. He began to brutalize me. He began to beat me with a pole. And he also had a gun in his hand. He began to brutalize me with the gun. The gun fell, but it didn't go off on my head. So I'm grateful for that. And then during this moment, he began to pull down my pants, and the pole that he had in his right hand, he began to stick it up my anal several times. I always say it's about 20-something times, because it felt like it went on forever. But when he did it the first time, I thought my life was over. And then I don't know how he even thought to do it again. He began to pull my pants back down again and stick the pole back up my anal to the point to where it caused internal damage to my insides, where I lived with a colostomy bag for about 5 months. I was hospitalized for 5 weeks the first time. I went through a traumatic situation where I had to have traumatic, attention, immediate attention right away. I went to surgery. I was in surgery for about 9 hours, because that's how much damage it took to me. But I was able to not live with that colostomy bag for forever. I was able to get it reversed, so I don't live with it anymore. But even in the midst of that, I went to psychological counseling, mental counseling, spiritual counseling. I went through some challenging times in my life, but I was able to get through it. And that's why I'm here today, to say, hey, even though you've gone through something, you can get over that. And today, my encouragement is to anyone who's listening, and any male or female, even though you've gone through something, if you can get past it. Eric Erickson, who's a psychoanalyst, I've always shared this information with you. He says in his 8 stages of development, the psychosocial theory, he says, when you experience a challenge or a catastrophe in your life, it's not the end of the day for you, Marty. It's not the end of the day, but he said it can be a turning point for your life.
That's right.
This is the caveat. He said, how one responds to their situation can either dictate or determine their final destination. He says in this 8 stages of development, if you continue to keep going past each stage, and you keep carrying the stuff with you, you just put layers on top of layers. Until you address your situation and don't let it address you, that's when you continue to heal. That's when you can continue to move forward. And my question to anyone that's listening, are you addressing your situations? Are you allowing them to address you? And that's for me. When I went through what I went through, I said I
Right.
had to address what I went through. If not, it was constantly addressing me because, like DMX said, I wrote this in my book, and God rest his soul.
Right.
I almost lost my mind
That's
up
ooh,
in here,
come
man. Like
on.
the song said, I'm telling you,
Yes.
because this, when you go through something so traumatic, we do have to acknowledge that this thing happened to you, and
Yes.
acknowledge that
Yes.
this thing is real. It's not
Right.
fake. We're living in a real time, real life. So I think it's important that men acknowledge what happened to them,
That's
right?
right.
And address it as well, and then get the help they need.
That's
And
right.
obviously, that's what you do on a day-to-day basis. I'm thankful for resources that allow us to continue to move forward and get to a healthy space, right? And I think
Right.
oftentimes we just live vicariously through life, carrying those things that doesn't matter. So today, I'm thankful that you allow us to be able to share this in this time.
Right. Right. Marcel, again, y'all, send the hearts, send the likes, send the share. This is too powerful. You are looking at today and experiencing a survivor who did not internalize that. You see, if I was at church, I was about to run. Listen,
Mhm.
that he knew that it was nothing but the grace of God that kept him. That even when he was about to throw in the towel, felt like he was about to lose his mind through surgery after surgery, he still kept his hope and knew that he had a greater purpose. So you
Yeah,
need to listen, y'all. Get the book. Get the
yeah.
book. Get the book. Come on, yes, applaud your courage, sir. That's right. That's right. That's right. Come, send them in. Applause. All that. Share this story. Too many men are suffering in silence, and we have hope. God has given us Marcel Anderson to share his story so that we might have hope, even in bad. I don't know how I'm grateful. I'm so grateful to know you, and I'm so grateful that you have the courage to share such a personal story that would have taken most of us out. But you have given us a reason to live. You've given us a reason to hold on to hope. You've given us a reason to share not just your story, but also to protect our loved ones in our lives, man. Man, I
I
can't
have to
thank
say
you.
this, Marty, man, not to cut you off. I know
You're all right.
time is
You're
of
all
the
right.
essence,
No,
but
no, you're good.
I have to be real and be direct, man. As people are posting it and and telling me that thank me for my encouragement, but it hasn't always been this easy.
Thank you. Thank you.
It hasn't
Tell the
always been
truth.
this easy, man. And even now, as
Right.
I speak to you, I may get emotional because
You're all right.
I'm back in counseling because there's some things that I thought I addressed and handled that is coming
Right.
back up and fluctuating. Right,
Right.
me and
Right.
relationships, can
Right.
sometimes be challenging in how I maneuver myself.
Yes. Yeah.
Right, I recognize that some areas in my life I need to handle. Right,
Yeah.
because I see them handling me in my
That's
situation.
right.
So I
That's
think
right.
we have to acknowledge that this is not easy. It's a process, right? Everybody process doesn't look the same. Just because I
Right.
may be right here doesn't mean you got to rush and get where I am. So you got
That's
to
right.
understand where your process is and understand it's not easy, but you can win at the end of the day.
Woo.
You can
Come
win.
on. That's
You can
right.
win. You
That's
can win.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Marcel, and even thank you for being so vulnerable and sharing that you're still managing it at times.
Yeah.
Because too often we think that because we won got the victory, that doesn't mean that the enemy won't try and have it resurface in our mind and just saying, hey, I need to go back to therapy. I need to get some additional help. And that's what therapy is all about, y'all. It's not for us to tell you what you should or should not do. It's for us to be there to support you along this journey. Listen, I see my therapist. I told him, I think I might need to see you once a week because my journey is getting difficult right now. And I need to see you so I don't snap. So then I don't become the statistic. Like, see, I told you he was nothing but an angry black man. Yeah, I'm angry because I need to know how to process this. And I can release my anger with you and go back to now saying, identifying the triggers and processing why am I angry and what I used to would have done in the past, but now what choices am I choosing to make now in the future? Go ahead. I see you. Go ahead. Talk to me,
No,
Marcel.
no, man. I'm just again just so grateful, man, just to still be alive. But sometimes people don't appreciate life until it's almost taken
Yes.
away from you. They
Yeah.
don't want to operate in their purpose fully, right? And effectively
Right.
use everything that's been created for them to use, And
Right.
for me, I told God, I said, man, if you get me out of this, man, I'll do everything you told me to do. And people's like, man, you just won't stop creating opportunities for yourself. I said, no, I said, I'm not dead. I said, I'm not in the grave yet. So until I leave,
Right.
I still have more
Come.
work to do. And I want people to know that the richest place in the whole entire world is the graveyard. That's people that left this world with things that they could not, of course,
Complete or
release. But
yeah,
today,
yeah.
complete. But today, man, I want to encourage someone to say that you still have that dream. You
Woo.
still have that dream that's living on the inside of you. And I want you to hold fast to the dreams, for dreams die. Life
Yes.
is like a broken wings, birds that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for dreams go.
Come
Life
on.
is like a frozen field with snow. That's Langston Hughes, and I quote that thing to let you know that you still have dreams. And for me, I'm telling you, I thought my dreams were shot, but I'm grateful
Right.
today that I own my own company. I
Yes.
own my own nonprofit. I'm self-employed for the last 7 years.
Come
I have
on.
3 albums, and I'm proud of this because at the end of the day,
Yes.
that was almost taken away from me. So every last
Yes.
one of us, even if you
Yes.
haven't gone through things that I've gone
Yes.
through, you've gone through something.
Yes.
You need to understand what that thing is in order for you to keep moving and keep pressing forward. So today, it's not easy, but you can make it with the right team, with the right people, with the right resources, and move in the right direction. Yeah.
Wow, man, I can't tell you. Listen, y'all, again, please send up the hearts, send the likes, share this, get people in here so they can hear, again, this amazing testimony that's been truly inspired. Turn your pain into purpose. Come on, Shayla. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Love that. Love that. Listen, Marcel, stay tuned. Stay with us. Listen, y'all, I want to bring onto the stage on our show for the very first time, but it won't be his last time. Today is about men, and this young man, he looks like he's 10, but he's not. I won't give him a little bit of age, maybe 16 in there. But when we have young men advocating for this as well. So glad that he reached out to me and so glad to welcome for the very first time, but definitely not the last time, to the Mental Health Matters with Marty show, advocate and artist, OctSixteen. Yes.
What's up, Marty? How's it going, man?
Man, I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm doing very well, doing very well. I'm so happy to be here. And my man, thank you so much for sharing your story. It's such a powerful
Isn't it?
example of what it takes to turn obstacles into opportunities.
See, I love it when we as black, see, they got the wrong picture of we as black men. We know how to support each other and
Yes.
love on each other and get
Yes.
encouragement and strength from each other. Man, thank you so much. Listen, October 16th, man, tell the people who you are. Welcome to the show. Why are you such an advocate and all this fun stuff? Yes, talk to me, my brother.
Thank you. Yeah. Hello, everybody. My name is OctSixteen. I'm a hip hop artist out here in the Inland Empire in Southern
Whoop,
California, i.e., what's up? And, when I'm not making music, I work for the Department of Behavioral Health as a peer advocate. And so mental health and just mental wellness has been a part of my life from the beginning. I have a younger brother with a diagnosis. I have a mom who has her PhD in clinical psychology. I myself have been in the field. And so, this is a subject that's been important to me for a while. And when it comes to sexual assault and sexual assault awareness, I was about 19 years old, and a young woman that I love, very close and dear friend of mine, confided in me and told me that she had been at a party over the summer after graduating high school. Somebody drugged her, and somebody took her upstairs and assaulted her. And when you're 19 and a young man, it's hard to really understand that. So my response was, all right, let's fight. I was like, tell me what it looked like. Where were you at? Was it? Give me the description. We'll handle this with some street justice, and then we let the police pick up the rest. But let's go ahead and give me some information. I want to solve this problem. And I was shocked by her response. She was embarrassed more than angry. Right? Yeah. She was depressed and scared, and she did not want her family. She didn't want her friends, her school, her teachers, her community, anybody to find out that this happened to her. And she confided in me, just trusting that I was somebody safe to process these emotions with. They don't equip young men for conversations like this.
Come on, say that again.
They don't equip young men to comfort and to be there for and to encourage and to support people who are dealing with sexual assault and sexual violence, right? And so I sat there and I just cried with her, Marty. I just cried. We cried for about an hour or so. We were just crying, processing our emotions and our feelings. And me as a hip hop artist, I've been writing lyrics since I was 16.
Right.
The way that I process my emotions best is through pen and pad. And so it was almost immediately that I started kind of just processing the story that she told me. Unfortunately, more stories came in. I'm hearing from coworkers, I'm hearing from family, I'm hearing from friends, I'm hearing from acquaintances, varying levels of sexual assault. Some that end with the criminal justice system, but most that don't. Right? Most that don't. And so over the course of a decade, I started crafting this song that became a combination of those stories and those concepts and those ideas and experiences that were shared with me by these young women and men. And it is a song that took me a decade to write because I wanted to be intentional. I wanted to be intentional. And the song is titled Resilience. Right now, I have released the song. It's available everywhere, but I'm really trying to use the song as a way to bring awareness and raise money for a local nonprofit here in the Inland Empire, Partners Against Violence, also San Bernardino Sexual Assault Services, or they were formerly San Bernardino Sexual Assault Services. So this is to raise money for them. None of the money I get off of this song comes to me. I want it. It's not necessary. I want to bring up, I want awareness, and I want funds to be donated and raised for this cause. So you can follow me on Instagram at OctXVI and click on the link in my bio to donate to this important cause. But that's my story, Marty. Really just want to share light on the resilience of survivors.
That's right.
What Marcel was talking about was not just going through a sexual trauma. Marcel's talking about the trauma before, the trauma after, the trauma during. It's a long journey, right? And to be resilient, to make it through that takes a special kind of strength, and survivors have that. And if you're a survivor and you haven't found it yet, you got it. It's there. That's right. It's in you, and you just need the right people to support you. Examine your life. There's a Socrates quote that the unexamined life is not worth living. If you examine your life, you will find your purpose in spite of all the drama, in spite of all the trauma, and you'll be all right.
Listen, I'm amongst some theologians and all these. Yes, y'all some heavy hitters. Come on, listen. OctSixteen, man, you're amazing, and I love the fire, and you're right, Marcel. Don't you agree? He said that important point. They don't, and we don't. I'm not saying that. I'm gonna put us in this equation. We don't equip our young men, our young black men, our young brown. We don't equip our young men, period, in how to deal and how to even support others who experiences that. So I'm so glad that you are having these conversations. I'm so glad that this is your passion. I'm so glad that you said, listen, I want to do this so I can help raise money and bring awareness to it, man. I applaud you. Marcel, how didn't this young brother, I told you he powerful, he moving us, man.
I'm just over speechless, man. I'm just grateful, man, for the work that you're doing. We need more individuals like you. And the words that you're choosing to be able to enlighten people on this topic. I tell you, man, it's a journey. And as you said, man, we have to equip our young men for these conversations. And I'm grateful to be able to have a mentoring program called Accelerating Men, where we educate, train, and cultivate African-American men in particular, specifically to accelerate in who they're called to be. And we focus on identity development. So we help them to understand who they are so they can define and know who they're not. We teach them character development, self-esteem awareness, leadership development, understanding that when you get to a checkpoint in life, when you get to an ID checkpoint in life or a roadblock, it only means one thing, not as a bad thing or a good thing or different. It means that change is happening. And
That's
what we
right.
do is make sure that they're prepared for the change that's going to happen in their life. Do they have everything they need to get past that roadblock? The insurance when they get to that roadblock, that police roadblock, they have the ID, the central things you need to get to a roadblock. But we teach them, again, make sure you have the right skill set, the right mindset, as an analogy that we use to help them to continue to move forward past that roadblock. And no matter what happens, make sure they can stay consistent and stay on the right track. So, brother, man, I thank you, man, for just being able to share the things that you're doing. And I'm excited to be able to hear more from you today.
Yes. So we're excited that October 16th is going to actually perform his hit here live with us tonight. So are you ready, man?
I'm absolutely ready.
I know you stay ready. I love it. So listen, premiering for the first time on the Mental Health Matters with Marty show, October 16th, and his latest track called Resilience, correct?
Yes, sir. Resilience.
Love it.
Thank you, Marty.
Let's go, man.
All right. Kinfolk, open up your windows, let the wind blow, but it might get a bit cold. Big coats can't protect you from this flow. Closed minds get slow, open minds get growth. So prepare for a frightening tale. Dark night, no moon, just lightning and hail. A girl screams out, would you like me to fail? I've been down that road, you provided the trail. But there's no response. So she tries again, thinking her approach was wrong. Slow and calm, she stands up with open arms, but just breaks into tears cause she's so distraught. Her hope was gone, she was eager to die. So she goes into a bag to reach for a knife. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. We need to rewind to the scene of the crime, the very reason she's crying. Summer house party, some dude's mansion. Her homegirls thought it'd be cool to crash it. Gets there, people out by the pool dancing, passing around some bottles and full glasses. And she had been misled by past friends. Grew up thinking that her breasts were an asset. Low-cut black dress just to attract men. Flirting, but they just want to poke her like cactus. They drunk off the drink and only trying to freak with a girl that's naive and dressed like a freak. And she's at the party to dance and release all the tension and pent-up stress from the week. She takes the drink she had drank before. She had confidence, but this gave her more. Got drunk, but drank off the wrong cup. Somebody spiked a cranberry vodka. Wait, what's going on? This wasn't planned. Where's a friend at? Doing lines of pimp in the back? Now her body feels like it's been hit with a bat. Being led upstairs by a sinister man. And then she feels the buzz and her mind just drifts. Then she feels numb and her eyes eclipse. She wakes up naked with some guy half stripped. She knew her fun would end, but why like this? Fear overcame her, so she tries to scream, but nothing comes out, so she tries to see. But it's too dark to define the scene, so she closes her eyes and she tries to dream. She imagined the time she was a lot younger, back when her mom and her dad used to love her, before there were problems in the family, before she got ridiculed for having personality, way back before religion was politics, before she got chubby and lost lots of confidence, before the diagnosis and the need for a treatment, before her boyfriend broke her commitment and cheated. Wow, that was once upon a time. She awoke from the fairy tale, rubbing on her eyes, head aching, heart racing, legs shaking, scared to death. When the disbelief left, she felt embarrassment. Let's take it back to the knife in the bag. She feels like she had lost the life that she had. Lines it up to her wrist, precise and exact. Closes her eyes and feels her skin slices and drags. Blood runs down the fingertips to her bed. followed by love and intimate sex. Trust gushed out along with every bit of respect. Then she passed out as her little sister walks in. She lived through the attempt, but she's living with regret. Never told a soul, keeps it hidden from her friends. Doesn't know who she is, what she's living is pretend. Wakes up every morning just wishing it would end. Haunted by a nightmare that alters lives. The road back to normal is a constant climb. Altered by a nightmare that haunts the mind. But she found it in her heart to fight, even though it's hard sometimes. Therapy gave her the clarity to find self-love without compromise. Even though she's traumatized, she's getting stronger all the time. That's where a real story begins. I'm gone confide. Thank you.
I muted myself, so thank you, Daryl. I was like, just going off and nobody could hear me. Man, powerful words, powerful words, powerful words. Listen, that's right. Like, love, heart, all of that, y'all. Yes, yes, yes. Come on, Viren. Viren, so good to see you. Thank you for tuning in with us, man. We're trying to make a difference. Marcel, those words were y'all have never met, but the words and the lyrics mimic so much of what you shared. How talk to us a little bit about that, and then October 16th, man, I want to talk to you about where all that came from because it was so real. Marcel,
just all I got to ask, brother, can I get on that remix? I already got something in mind.
Okay,
I already got a line that I'm thinking about. If with your permission, whenever you get that opportunity to, all I kept hearing, it may not work for the song, but I kept hearing, it's not your fault. No matter what happened, it's not your fault.
Come on.
No matter what happened, it's not your fault.
Hey, yeah. Come on, we're going to the studio.
Let's go part two. I'm not even kidding, man. We're going to go part two. Let's go.
Yes.
I'm ready. You can send it to me tomorrow, and I have it ready to you by Friday.
Listen.
But it just spoke so much volumes, man, to the message and the words and how you orchestrated it, man. The sound, the beat. I'm always moved by the beat and the sound.
Right.
And just go into a place where you can be by yourself and really dwell and reflect on what's really happening to you. Oftentimes, we just go through the motions, but you just sit still in that moment and just be like, man, this really did happen to me. And I could just see people crying and lamenting off of this song, man, and feeling healed, feeling set free, and saving a lot of people, man, from your words and message. So
wow, amazing.
I'm telling you.
Yeah,
I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. That means a lot.
Yes. We're also with Mental Health Matters with Marty and Marcel Consulting. We're going to commit to as well to not just only we're going to promote your book, Marcel, but we're also going to promote your song with this as well, October 16th, man, because we want to be supportive of positive and the right messages going out. So we're going to partner with you guys with getting this message out and across as well, and find as many other partners that we can join in this fight to bring about awareness, because I'm with you. Sexual assault is preventable, 100% preventable, but we have to have the conversations. We got to have the so talk to us. That was deep. You said this was a decade of put in the workings. Talk to us, man.
10 years of writing, rewriting, structuring, restructuring, adding, subtracting, really just striking the right tone. And it wasn't until early this year that I was able to put together those last about 8 lines or so, where I'm talking about, she even though she's traumatized, she found it in her heart to fight, even though it's hard sometimes. Right. We get that. We get that it's not going to be an easy journey, but it's a doable journey. Right. It's not an easy journey, but it's a doable journey. And what it takes is a level of self-love, self-care, self-respect, and self-determination. Right. To be able to connect to the part of you that can get you through anything. And, you know,
Yes.
for me, that's what this song is about. It's about the resilience. I go through,
Wow.
you know, the part of the song where the young woman is basically having like a flashback in her mind, thinking about, you know, life beforehand, you know, before all these kind of different traumatic events happened to her. And, you know, these are real things in the life of that friend. You know,
Right.
she was having issues with her family and,
Wow.
you know, having a personality and wanting to do things that they didn't want her to do, and being creative and wanting to dance and be artistic made her an outcast amongst her family. Right. She got a health diagnosis that was devastating, put her in the hospital for a while. You know, she did all these different things that were traumatic in and of themselves, and yet and still she got sexually assaulted. Right.
Wow.
She had to make it through all of that and the sexual assault, and then to get through it is alone, and then to get through the other side, you know, that's resilience. That's resilience, and that's strength, and that's power, and the ability to get through anything. You know, once you find it in yourself, once you find that self-worth, that self-love, and that self-determination to do it. So that's really, you know, this song is a culmination of her story and some other stories. A friend shared with me that after her violation, that she tried to kill herself. And that's where that part really comes in, and just talking about, you know, how one trauma can lead to another, but how it doesn't need to be a trauma tree springing branches. You know what I'm saying? At some point, we could just plant a new seed. We could plant a new seed. We could water that seed. We can tend to that seed of hope. We can tend to that seed of joy. We can tend to that seed of resilience. And we don't have to keep watering that tree of trauma.
That's right. Come on. Stop watering the tree of trauma and transplant yourself into some new soil.
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go.
Marcel, I keep hearing that. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. I love that.
Good.
No matter what happened. No matter what happened.
No matter what, right. And you're right. And that's part of the negative, and I always say it this way, the stinking thinking that we have of the blaming, the guilt, the shame, not the family members not understanding. Not only have we not taught men how to be supportive, we've not taught family members how to be supportive.
Come on.
Good. That's good.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on.
Family doesn't know how. And part of it is, I believe that some of them are guilty themselves. Because we know Ray, you shouldn't have left the kids with Ray. You know he ain't right. You know auntie ain't all there. And then we tell the kids to shut up and all. No, listen. We have to accept responsibility, but also lend support.
Yes.
And that's support, lending the support, telling it's okay. And I thank you, because it's so important that you said you sat there and cried with her.
Absolutely.
To show the bond and the support with that. That's my auntie, y'all. She's in here. So thank you, auntie. She says, tell the truth. Right. Because we've seen it too much happen in our community.
Yes.
And we keep turning a blind eye and a deaf ear. Enough is enough. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, and there are so many services nationally and locally that address this that don't get enough attention. One service nationally is RAIN, the Rape and Incest National Network. They do great work. They have a national hotline to report sexual abuse.
Can you flash that
violence.
national hotline?
Yeah, RAINN, Rape and Incest National Network, and they are a great resource. And then also locally here in the Inland Empire, Marty, we have Partners Against Violence.
Love it.
I'm using this song "Resilience" as a fundraiser for Partners Against Violence, formerly San Bernardino Sexual Assault Services.
Yes.
The amount of education and counseling and services that they provide to these young women, clothes, resources, everything for these young men and women who experience this. And they're not asking you, hey, can we have your insurance card? You know, this is a nonprofit, Partners Against Violence, that is doing amazing work. And here in the pandemic, right? There's so many young men and women who are quarantined with their victimizers.
That's
y'all.
right. That's
we
right.
need to support our local and national services that assist people
That's
in
right.
these situations. So please, my resilience fundraiser is on my Instagram. Go there,
Love it,
donate.
love it,
200 people donating $25 will get $5,000 that'll have an impact on so many lives
That's
here in
right.
the Inland Empire.
Love it, man. You're absolutely, and I love that we all can take a step in doing something, and that's what it's all about. That we all just do something. We have the conversations. Get involved. You can call 211 from your local, whatever area you're in, and get some help. Again, we've put the national hotline number down, 800-656-HOPE. If you don't remember anything else, 656-HOPE. And you're really right. And that's such a wonderful, wonderful things. We don't want you to suffer in silence. Get the help you need. We got young brothers out here telling us their story. So, wow. This is so good, y'all. So good. We're going to come back and have a part 2 just to talk about some other things as well, man. And this has been amazing. So, again,
Marty.
October, yes.
I'm sorry not to cut you off.
You're all right.
But it's in my spirit, man. I want to commit tonight. I'm gonna donate $100 towards your campaign tonight, brother. Yeah. Tonight, brother.
My brother, I appreciate that so much. You know, the campaign is all throughout April, Sexual Assault Awareness Month.
Yes.
That $100 makes a huge difference in the lives of sexual assault survivors. Any donation, $10, $25, $50, and a $50 donation, Marty.
Yes, sir.
Let me get this out right here. A $50 donation gonna get you this nice T-shirt right here with the resilience, with the resilience on it from my upcoming EP, Little Virtues. So I'm sending that out to anybody. So you're gonna get 2, Marcel. You're gonna get 2 of those right there with that $100 donation. I appreciate that support. The survivors need it.
Yes.
The survivors need it.
That's right. People are asking, do you have a Cash App or how can they do?
So it's if you go to my Instagram, there is a donation link for the fundraiser right there. You click on the fundraising link, and it's all done through Facebook. I don't see any of the money. It goes directly to them. They give you a tax deductible receipt. It's all through Facebook Pay. Now, if you don't have an Instagram account, you can Cash at me at OctXVI, and I guarantee you I will screenshot that I received it. I will screenshot that I donated it and send it right back to you so you can know I am not playing funny with this money. It is not about me.
I love it.
It is all about the survivors. So please click on my Instagram, click on the fundraising link. Marcel, that's a huge donation. It goes such a long way. And you know what? Real quick, Marty, I know it's 7 o'clock.
No,
but
go ahead.
So many people got stimuluses, tax returns, money that just flowed in. Right, money that God bless. We're gonna buy a new iPad. We're gonna do this. Mm-hmm. Spend your money the way you want, but if you can find it in your budget to take out some money to support sexual assault survivors, it makes a huge, valuable difference in the lives of these young men and women who need this support more than most of us need another electronic.
Yes. Auntie, that's my auntie. Auntie, Cash App me. I'll Cash App October 16th. And I'm going to also, see, Marcel, I'm going to match Marcel's and also give you another 100.
Yeah.
That is huge. That is huge.
This is what we do. We have to quit serving lip service and give life service. And we're going to put our money where our mouth is. So you got 100 from Marcel, 100 from me. I don't know what my auntie is giving. She going to give something.
I'm going to just match that energy because I'm going to donate another 100. And we just gonna keep going. If y'all gonna donate your 100, I'm gonna donate my 100. I've already donated. I plan on donating more, but I'm gonna donate 100 more on top of what y'all are doing because this moment right here matters. And I want everybody to know that it is not about OctSixteen and his song. It's not about mental health, Marty. It's not about Marcel, health services. This is about survivors.
That's right.
And as young Black men and people in this community, wow, what a powerful impact we can have if we come together on this one here.
That's right. Glad to have you both again. Okay, 25. I got you, Auntie. We got you. That's my mama.
Wow.
My mama says she gonna give you $100.
Wow.
Come on, we like raising money for the right causes.
Yes.
So my mama giving you 100, I got 100, you got 100, Marcel got 100, my auntie gave 25. Listen.
We on the way.
We on the way. This is how we make a change. This is how we make a difference. This is how we can make a difference in other people's lives. Because this is what it's all about. I do this because I love it. I want to make people and help people make a difference in their lives. And this is how we make a difference in lives everywhere. We do. Again, October 16th, how do we get a hold of you? Throw his stuff up one more again for us, Daryl. I love it.
Yeah, October16.com or Instagram at OctXVI. My Instagram has a link to all my socials. So you can go ahead and find me there, or at October16.com, the official website for all things October 16. I have a new album coming out, Little Virtues, that is surrounding this song. Resilience talks about virtues like humility, gratitude, resilience, forgiveness, reverence.
Right.
So leadership, this
Come on.
this EP is talking about values. So please check out October16.com, check out my Instagram at OctXVI. And thank you so much for all of your commitments to donate. And please, please, please tell your family, tell your friends, let's make a difference.
Wonderful. Marcel, how do we get a hold of you, man?
Yes, you can go to my website, marcelandersonmusic.com, where you can purchase my first book and my first CD. Called Still Living, A Victimized Man's Journey, Purpose to Live. Right now, you can go literally right now after you donate towards October 16th and purchase the book and CD. I guarantee you'll be inspired by the message. You can follow me on Instagram at Marcel Anderson1. Stay connected to me on Facebook at Marcel Anderson. Again, if you are looking for someone to come speak or even share some encouraging words, go to my booking email or call me and we'll connect with you.
Awesome. Again, we want to thank these brothers tonight who are talking about sexual assault and the trauma behind it. You heard, I can't thank Marcel enough, who is a sexual assault survivor, who is sharing his story. Amazing. We have artist October 16th, who is sharing the stories of so many as being an advocate. We have Black men being an advocate to make a difference in sexual assault everywhere. We are changing the landscape and not allowing people to put us in a box or label us in a negative way. But like they have shared with us, we can no longer secretly suffer in silence, in the shadow of shame. My name is Martina Sellers. I've been your host and mental health hygienist tonight. Please check out our website at mentalhealthmarty.com. There you will find mental health merchandise to support you along the way. And also, please check out my website, that and our podcast. That's where I'm going, our podcast. Our podcast is Mental Health Matters with Marty. Please like and subscribe on your favorite podcasting streaming source. If you are an Apple listener, please give us a 5-star rating and review. But become an I Matter member of Mental Health Matters with Marty by texting I Matter to 855-717-1272 to get all the latest in your mental health journey. Again, we want to thank you. There are so many other live streams you could have been listening to, but we are so excited that you joined this one. This coming Wednesday, we're bringing back Dr. Allen with house calls as we continue to talk about the vaccination and whether or not you should get it. The answer is yes. But we want to thank you. As I say each week, we have to stop the stinking thinking. And you don't have to continue to secretly suffer in the shadow of shame. But we want you to speak up, speak out, and live. And as we say every week, enjoy your life. See you next time.
We